Good evening, Tipsy. Thank you for clicking on this Fun with Pete and Sherry video. I am your host, Mr. Julian. This is your co-host, Tipsy. Soon I'm going to start saying this is your host, Tipsy, and I'm your co-host, Mr. Julian. But today I'm going to be doing a review for you. This is of Glenlivet 15-year-old, which is called the French Oak Reserve. So let's jump right into it. I had a time figuring out exactly how this scotch was made. You know, I like to know that before I drink my scotch, partly because I'm still sort of learning different kinds of tastes. I want to know what I'm tasting. For someone such as myself who doesn't have the equivalent of taste perfect pitch, it's very helpful to have some sort of orientation to know what I'm going into. And if you feel the same way, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly fine. That's why it helps me to look at videos of people talking about scotch before I try them for the first time, and hopefully it helps you too. So, what do they do with this one? How do they make it? Well, I finally found someone from Glenlivet was able to tell me how this is made, and this is made like this. You take the 12-year-old Glenlivet, which is the best-selling scotch here in the United States, but one most people are getting kind of tired with who are big scotch fans. I know I'm pretty tired of it. Has a kind of a junior scotch feel about it. So anyway, they take that at 12 years and they pour it into different casks. They pour it out of the caskets into new oak casks, which are French oak from Limousin, France. Now, this is supposedly, I suppose, high-quality oak. And I'm willing to bet that it is high-quality oak because, were that not the case, they would not use it new. They would not use any, I think, but the best oak without having it, been used for bourbon or for, previously as a scotch barrel or for sherry or some other kind of wine. If you're willing to take the barrel just as it is, then you know you're trusting that that wood has got some damn good flavors in it. And it's hard to know exactly how high quality the wood is that you're getting in any given scotch. And the reason for that is there's really no way to quantify it. Every tree is different, so that means every barrel is going to be different, and it's very, very easy, I think, for a company that's getting its wood from one source that knows it's good to be able to say, well, somebody else is offering us wood from this other source, and it's basically just the same thing, but they're offering it to us for a little less. You can say, oh, somebody else is offering us for a little less, and it's still basically just the same thing. And before you know it, you could be buying crappy wood like that. And this is another reason I think you can't always be dismissive of the very biggest distilleries. Because remember, they have huge purchasing power in the market. They can go out there and make big purchases of really, really good wood, and I think you'll find that many of them are in fact doing that. So while I've heard the arguments about how standards always fall off as things get bigger, I think that there is a trade-off, and I don't think they necessarily get worse as the company gets bigger. They do get to kind of more generic, okay? You can have more character from a micro distillery frequently. So anyway, getting on to this one, they have got a really understated presentation here that doesn't tell you very much. It doesn't tell you that this is a double matured scotch. It is, despite the fact that double matured is sort of all the rage now. And I don't know why that is. And I have mixed feelings about it. I kind of feel in one way distilleries should know by now that we want to know as much as we can about the scotch. It seems like if you're proud of how you made the scotch, you would want to communicate that to as many people as possible. On the other hand, I kind of admire the fact that Glenlivet is just willing to put this on the shelf and say nothing and just let the scotch speak for itself. Alright. I have done more than my allotment of rambling for the day, so let's get down to it. Now, top of the bottle, I'm getting things that I recall from Glenlivet 12, like the Del Monte Fruit Cup smell. But that changes a bit in the glass. I've got something very odd. Something like warm milk. Fruit is still there, although a little bit different. It's more apple-y, banana, more the temperate fruits than the tropical fruits. And there is definitely that touch of almond in the background too, which I believe was not there in the Glenlivet 12. All right, final test. Well, the training wheels are off here. This is not the candy cane scotch that the 12 is. First thing that's hitting me is plum. Very smooth. A little touch of coconut, which does not surprise me. That is what I've gotten in other things that are using new oak, such as the Lefroy Quarter Cask. A completely different style of scotch here, but they have that in common. The sour plum and still apple, like a golden delicious apple. And ends quite dry with the nutty, almost chalkiness at the end. But a very drinkable scotch, very tasty, that is kind of not pushing extremely in any direction, and the tastes maybe a little bit more adult than you might be thinking from a Glenlivet, and you know, one very much worth trying if you have not tried it. I am very pleased with this. Very pleased with this. So, let's see. What else can I tell you about the Glenlivet? As you know, I don't care much for the 12. It's not at all bad, I guess, for people to cut their teeth on. But strangely enough, I'm also not crazy about the 18-year-old Glenlivet, and that's the one that has a sherry influence, but it does not have the depth that this one has, which is a shame, because if you're in Charlottesville and you go to South Street, you can get it for $7.50 a glass, which is a very, very good deal. But you can also get Macallan for that price, so go there anyway. Alright, that is all I have to say about that, and I am going to leave you for now. And I'm going to give this, what am I going to give this? I'm going to give this an 8.5. There you are. I'll see you next time.